Hey everybody, welcome back to Fallout 4. Today we're going to tackle building one of these. This is a custom, kind of a kit bash mech, chicken walker mech, using the Brotherhood of Steel Liberty Prime parts. Obviously we're using mods here. So it's kind of in the same theme as this guy up here, which is the Scarab. I'm calling it the Scarab mech from last episode. So I've been slowly building this out and also building around it. You probably wouldn't have seen this from the last episode, but I'm basically making a Brotherhood of Steel forward operating base on Spectacle Island, and this mech is going to be part of it. So we're going to build another one of these, and I guess I'm going to show you how to do it. So I'm just going to move to another part of the island because this area is kind of getting a little bit busy, so I'm going to put another mech somewhere else, and I'm probably going to build a couple actually. But maybe not on this video. So what I've done here is I've basically laid out the parts we're going to use right here. Now, as I said, we are using mods, and the mod I am using mostly is this static objects and buildings. If the name is different on Nexus or something, I will put it up. But other than that, it's this one here, static objects and buildings, and inside we have a factions tab with Brotherhood of Steel stuff, and it's most of the stuff that we're looking at in front of us. But we do have some other things here. We have the two big tanks at the back. That is in this machines tab here, and then the last one is this kind of like memory lounge thing from the campaign, and that is in the miscellaneous section. So it's all basically within this one here. There is a couple of other mods we're using. We're using the Place Everywhere mod to basically rotate and change the size of certain pieces. And we do have a mod, this one here, CVC, which is to put in a seat into this mech, so we can actually assign a guard to it and they'll sit down. It basically becomes like a defense post for your settlement, I guess. And we can also put in a turret, a defense turret, underneath or something, or on top, and it can actually shoot and do everything. So that's really cool. The only thing it can't do is obviously move around because it needs to be rigged, but I guess it's kind of like a prop, but actually works as a defense post as well, so that's really cool. As you can see, we do have to resize some things, so let's get into it. The first piece is this Liberty part head. That's obviously the head to the Liberty Prime robot. So I do need to rotate it. Let me just increase this rotation value because it is quite slow. Okay, so you basically need to rotate it until it looks somewhat like this. So you have the face of it is kind of pointing down, the chin is kind of pointing outwards, and that's going to be kind of like the front. And you're going to put our memory lounge chair, I guess you'd call it, intersect it kind of like this. We don't want to go too far because obviously the head is going to come through the seat and it looks a little bit funny. But we do need to, it can't, I guess the aesthetic, it can't be sort of out too far because then it looks kind of funny. But then it can't be too far back either. So you kind of just have to find like a nice spot for it. And so these parts here, these are going to be kind of like our, I guess our shoulders. So we do kind of need to rotate them to be 90 degrees roughly. Doesn't have to be super accurate like that, and we just need to put them there. Now we do need to rotate this guy a little bit more so that it lines up, something like that. We're still off a little bit. So when you get the rotation axis off, I notice with this Place Everywhere mod, it can be quite tedious to sort of get it to go the way that you want. As I said, you don't have to be super accurate. I guess the main look needs to be achieved, but you don't have to sort of have it, in my opinion, doesn't have to be like kind of pinpoint. And we do need to resize this. So using the place everywhere mod, this one is going to be 160% the original size. So if you look to the side in the top corner there, you can see that it's slowly going up in value. Okay, and is it one more? I know we already did it. Cool, and I'm just gonna put it back to where it was. So the way I did it is I kind of lined up this larger piece here into the lounge pod thing. And now we're gonna do it on the other side. So let's just upscale it. Oopsie. Upscale it while we got it here. One more. Oh, we went too far. Oh, we went too far. Sometimes it does take a little bit of time to sort of catch up, so you have to be kind of careful. Okay, and then we can rotate it. And rotate it again. Okay, this one's kind of off, I can see. Okay, and I'm just gonna have a quick spin around, make sure it's somewhat lined up. This one needs to be a little bit further over. So this one needs to be lined up a little bit too, just so we get, I guess, the hips kind of symmetrical. But again, it doesn't need to be super accurate. Let's just rotate that as well while we're here. Okay, so the next piece we're going to go for is we're going to do the arms, which are actually no, we'll stick with the, I guess, the main body for now. Maybe we'll do the legs last. So we're going to get this engine, and this car engine is going to be 140% its original size. So we're going to upscale this one. Okay, and oh, we went too far. It always goes up too much. So you can see there it's a constant battle against the axis, the rotation axis. And I might just go one more on that one, just so. Maybe a couple more actually. And I'll just drop it a little bit. Okay, and we'll put our tanks in there as well. So the tanks are going to be 20%. So it is quite a significant amount. Okay, and we're going to put this one at the back. So I'm going to I'm just kind of like looking for points that we can attach them. So there's this part here on the end of the side of the engine here that I'm going to use. I'm just going to raise it up a little bit. Something like that. And then get the other one. And just being aware of kind of trying to make it look symmetrical. So we got this pipe in the center, or sort of aimed at the center. And then we got just trying to make the tops line up. Might be a little bit down. Something like that. Actually, I think one of the sizes is off. Is it this one? No, maybe it's just my poor lining up skills, alignment skills. Okay, I'm pretty happy with the alignment there. So you can see we got this wire thing out here. I guess I can't really do much about it because it's part of this part here. So I guess we just have to live with that. but that is okay. I'm just gonna change the game hour just so we have a little bit more light. Now while we're here, we could go to the defense turret. And so this is kind of like just a standard one that we've got. So I did use a different one, a different mod. You can see here, gives you a bunch of different options. So if you wanted to find that on Nexus, just look up turret and it'll be like extended or, you know, different turret options or whatever. So maybe we can just stick with this, the standard one for now. So let's just rotate it, and we got to be careful because if it highlights another piece, it's gonna really mess us up. Okay, and gotta change. Oh, gotta change the axis. Okay. And I'm just going to turn snapping off so we can kind of line it up. I might move it back to the main body because I'm going to upscale it, I think. Now you can see the problem there is the chain gun is kind of like, it's aimed down. I probably wouldn't personally live with that. I guess that's why I use the other turret. But if you're okay with that, that is fine. Because you know, like, if you're just sort of doing it with these kind of vanilla assets, and you didn't have the turret mod, then it will still work. It'll still point at the bad guy or whatever and shoot. It's just when it's like, you know, in this mode, it just looks kind of ugly. Okay, the next part I'm going to move on to the last section, which is kind of the most fiddly, and that's the legs. So the one I've got over there is kind of partially on a hill. So to make it look like it's actually standing there, the feet were kind of offset. You know, they were kind of at different angles, so it's a little bit harder to sort of line things up. But in this case, it should be a little bit easier because we are just on a flat piece of ground. So I guess you'd call it the thigh bone area, is these guys here. So we kind of need to roughly place them where they're going to go. So this thigh piece, we're going to resize it. It's going to be, let me just check my notes here. It's going to be 50%. Okay, one more. And do the same thing. Oh, did we go too far? Oh no, and it's the same size. And we can kind of line it up with this sort of cylindrical piece here, which is kind of handy. And just need to make it look a little bit nicer. Now you might need to rotate these at the final, you know, in the final instance, just because this one might not line up with the floor. So you just have to be cognizant of that. So, oh, is that the right one? The struggle, the rotation struggle. Something like that, I think. And I'm just going to check. I think I need to go one more on this one. Oh. Or maybe one more. Maybe two more. Yeah, I think that's roughly in the same kind of position. So I need to line this guy up. Okay, we are kind of roughly in the right place. And I'm just sort of using this piece here to line up the other ones. Let's just have a look from this angle. I mean, it's very similar. I think we're probably on the right rotation. Okay, the next one is the arms. The arms are going to be 60%. Okay, looks about the same. And as I said, we're going to line up these sort of sockets with these parts here. Maybe do a little bit of an intersection like that. And you can kind of see roughly how much room we've got. So we need to rotate this guy. Oh, we're getting off kilter now. So if we move that into roughly the position, because I'm also thinking about, you know, weight distribution. Obviously we have this heavy piece here, so we kind of need to have our feet underneath it so it looks somewhat realistic. Okay, line it up like that. And then, so that does look like it's kind of underneath like that. And then we're going to do the same with this guy here. Spin it around. Okay, and then I want to get the rotation somewhat similar as well. So I'm just looking on the floor there. We're kind of pretty much on the same line. We just need to make this look less ugly. So we're a little bit over the line, which is not too bad. Okay, we're roughly in the kind of the same position with this piece here. So that's good. So let's put the feet in on just to cover up this ugliness. And the feet are going to be 40%. You don't have to follow this exactly. You can obviously change it up if you want them to be bigger or smaller. I might actually go a little bit bigger. And it really depends on where you want to put them. So that was 50, wasn't it? 50%. And I've got it just intersecting on kind of the ankle part there. Something like that. So as you can see, like, you know, we've got this part here on the inside and this part on the outside. So it doesn't look exactly the same. But overall, you get that sort of symmetrical look. So that's cool. And the last part is just these shocks that we're going to put between here and here. And I've done it it's kind of rough, I guess. It's more about just the general look. And these are going to be slightly smaller at 80%. And they are symmetrical mostly. So we just need to place them roughly like so. Very cool. Okay, so that's basically the main mech finished. We got all the parts there. It's all ready to go. So we got the foot, we got the arms. These are a leg piece. We got the struts. We got the engine. We got the tanks. We got the hip joints here. We got the head, and then we have this lounge seat thing. And of course we have our turret underneath. Okay, so now if you want to put somebody in there and sort of assign them to the chair, you'll need to use the CVC mod. Well, this is how I did it. But also you need to place a floor for them to stand on, because I wasn't able to spawn somebody right into there. And in terms of my experimentation, I couldn't get anybody to basically spawn inside that sitting area. Sometimes if you assign people to a defense post, if you skip time and then come back, they'll just be there. But in my experimentation, because it's off the ground, it didn't work. So I just basically put this piece of wood down so they've got somewhere to stand. The way I did it is I went to the CVC mod here. You can find that on Nexus. And you have resources. And go over to defense. And then there's guard chair. So I just found a chair that I thought kind of worked with the look of the mech. So the one I landed on was this one here. And the reason why I chose this one is because it doesn't have a back. So you can kind of use the chair that's already there. But then kind of just put it as best as you can in that spot. Now you have to be able to actually assign them. You can see there it's kind of the highlighting, it's kind of conflicting with the chair. So you just need to get into a position where you can actually assign it to the chair. As you can see there, it's fighting. But I did have it before. So that one there, okay? So now what I want to do is you want to go to a mod that allows you to spawn settlers. So in my resources, and I'll put the name of the mod that I'm using for that on screen. So you're going to go to this miscellaneous one and then just go over, and then you'll see there's a settler pop up. And we're just waiting for it to load. You can see it's loaded now. So I'm going to just put him on here. And I'm just going to jump out because I want to give him a Brotherhood of Steel uniform. He's got to be careful he doesn't fall off that platform there. So let's give him that, and let's give him that, and let's just chuck that on. And okay. Now I'm just going to line them up a little bit better on this platform, just I guess to try and minimize the risk of him actually falling off. So I'm just going to move him on the front. Now I'm going to assign him to that chair. Oh goodness me, come here. Just okay. When he gets to the front, I'll assign him. Okay, resource is now assigned. Now he should move into position and go sit down. If he doesn't, just skip time and then he should be there. And then you can come back and then delete the floor. So that's what I'm going to do now. Okay, with a little bit of finagling, a little bit of trying, you can assign the dude there, the settler, to that seat. I actually went for a different seat, just a different style of seat. But yeah, he is up there. And he should be there somewhat permanently because this mod, they basically sit there. They shouldn't get up. I don't think they should get up. But if they do, you just sort of, I guess, redo the same process. But the most ideal thing is to find a mod for like a static pose or something and get them in a seating position. I think there's some mannequin mods. I might try that next time. Mannequin mod that you can sort of get them in a seating position and then just place them there. A lot easier than trying to assign somebody to sit there. But yeah, the effect is pretty cool. He's up there and even got a little bit of screen, I guess, to sort of act like a some sort of steering mechanism or something. So yeah, that's basically how I created the Brotherhood of Steel Chicken Walker mech. So if you like that one, drop us a like, maybe a sub if you're that way inclined. And I guess we'll see you on the next one.